So usually, I do these discussion videos and I upload them to my YouTube channel.
Right.
I just be talking about random topics, whatever. It could be gaming stuff, anime stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so last time I talked about my ranking of certain console. Which console generation was it? I think it was like the sixth or seventh console generation. What was it? The sixth generation console, which is like Dreamcast, PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. So
Oh
that
yeah, that is the sixth one. Yeah, I was making sure. I was like, oh, that's
yeah
the sixth one.
yeah
You're
yeah
right.
yeah. So
I mean, that's a lot of people will say that's like the gold. See, it's a little weird because some people say like the '90s was the golden age of gaming,
right.
which I think it was more of a step foot forward.
I
But I think yeah, around that time was the golden age of gaming because we learned how to master the art of 3D.
right.
We was learning how to work the cameras so the cameras won't be so bad like it was in the previous 3D games.
And
And
graphics definitely stepped up from when they was on like PS1 and stuff. Like they went from
yeah,
just
you
like
had to use the bumpers to move the camera instead of an analog stick. What the heck
right,
was that, bro?
right. And like I'm glad that we went from everybody looking like a bunch of blocks to like people actually having like facial animation. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I was looking like, damn, we went from people built like Legos to like actual, people.
Yeah, the first game I seen, I know there's multiple games had this at an early time, but the first game I seen that actually had individual like facial expressions on the character was back in Crash Bandicoot 2, I think it was, when
Mm,
they had those segments when I think Aku Aku was talking to you or whatever, and
right.
like they finally gave him like facial expressions and movements and stuff to his mouth. Otherwise than that, I didn't see that back in the day. It was just static faces and then voices was coming out. Like, bro, his mouth was not even moving, bro.
Right. It's just like static faces, awkward looks. They just every time you look at the character, you're just like, man, you really can't make any other faces besides this one, can
Right.
you? So I always just thought like, man, that PS2, GameCube, Xbox era, that to me was like a fun little generation, man. That was hype.
Yeah, and then also it was around the time when a lot of people was doing a lot of experimental stuff with games too. Like there's a lot of trust me, there's a lot of games that came out that I don't think would have came out like nowadays. Like um stuff like The Punisher and what's that other game? Stuff like Manhunt and all that other stuff,
Oh
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
try to go dark, but they also try to make it a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Why I'm getting the word motivated. That's not the word I'm looking for. No, what's the word? What's the word? What's the word? I don't know, it'll come back to me later, but
Right.
they went in a little bit more on the controls and the setups and stuff of the game or whatever.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely,
Like
definitely.
nowadays, like with games and stuff, it's like you kind of already know what you're getting into or whatever. You're like, okay, this is a shooter.
Right,
9 out of 10, I'm going to be in the multiplayer mode, shooting everybody and stuff, and
right.
I'm just going to be doing that and stuff. But games back then, like it's this game called Second Sight.
Mm.
I didn't even know that game was going to be like that intense when it came to the story. I thought it was going to be like some type of psychological like thriller shooter or something like that. But no,
Right.
they went deep in that game, bro. Like I don't know if you played that game,
I never even
Second
heard of it,
Sight,
but
but
but it sounds fun though.
yeah, it's really fun. Like if you ever get a chance, check it out, check it out,
I
or look up some footage and stuff of it. It's a good game.
gotcha. Yeah, but that during during that, it like when I think about that era, man, just like there's so many games that came out for each system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I know people, love, the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo and even the PS1, but like I don't know, that sixth generation was kind of tough. That was tough.
I mean, bro, I'm still playing it right now to this day. Like, don't make me whip out the PlayStation 2 catalog. I mean, I'll be like, oh, PS1. Oh, what about that Budokai 3 though? What about that Shaolin Monks? What about that Here Comes the Pain? That
Right.
freaking I already said Punisher. Countless games, bro. Countless games. But except Dragon Ball Z Sagas, we don't talk about that game. That
Yeah,
game
we,
doesn't
well, yeah.
exist.
That's it. What is that? We don't know what that is. we don't know anything about that. But
Yeah, let's pretend that didn't happen.
um, but yeah, man. Like I used to play stuff like Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Kingdom Hearts. Back before
Oh
it was
yeah.
multi-platform, but just recently bought Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. Not Tenkaichi 2, but Budokai 2.
Budokai too. Okay, I got you.
I haven't played it yet, but I remember playing this shit so much. Like
Oh yeah.
the first few Budokais, I remember playing so much back in the day. I
But
had
yeah, Budokai 2 is a real grind heavy game because like you're gonna be playing that story mode with the board stuff a lot, bro, just to
right.
get every single move and like yeah, it's a grind. I see how you was playing that a lot. It's a grind.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, like when I did the story mode, right, it was this thing that happened where Majin Buu sort of like caught up to one of the villains, and he somehow absorbed them, right? So like, let's say he caught up to like he moved to like where Frieza was. He would absorb Frieza, and it will create this whole new special Buu form, like a Frieza Buu form. That still to this day has not happened in any other Dragon Ball game except for that one. And
I remember that. This is true.
Yeah.
Like, cause you get two Boo fusions depending on who's left on the map. Like,
right.
you can get a Majin Buu cross Cell or Majin Buu cross Frieza, and that junk is
yeah. I thought that shit was
nasty.
I thought I thought that shit was so dope back in the day. But yeah, I recently also got Soul Calibur 3. And
ooh, that's the GOAT right there. Okay.
Yeah, because I had it back in the day, but it got stolen. That's some bullshit. But like, we ain't gonna talk about that. But
yeah, I feel you, bro.
So I recently got Soul Calibur 3 also, and what was the other game I got? SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. For PS2.
Ooh, I still haven't got that for my PlayStation 2 yet.
Yeah,
I gotta get that.
I gotta hop back on that. Those are games I haven't played in so long, but those are some of my top tier favorite games from that era. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking like, man, PS2 alone just has so many good stuff. But then I looked at other systems like, GameCube and stuff. I'm like, damn, GameCube has some stuff. Like, you think about like Smash Bros. And Metroid Prime and fucking Super Mario Sunshine.
Also, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. My boy Minda got me into that game. So shout outs to him. So. That game real good.
Yeah.
1000 Year Door. Yeah.
Mario Kart. Matter of fact, that Mario Kart Double Dash is still probably one of my favorite Mario Karts. Cause that one, I don't think they ever. You still can't do what you can do in that game to this day. At least I don't think.
No, they don't have the little switch out power up system. How you can just hold on to the and then you can just switch it. Nah, they don't
Right.
have that.
Right.
Like, Double Dash is the only game that has that. Like,
Right.
that's the only unique thing about it.
And
Yeah.
that's what made that game, that Mario Kart, so special to this day. I fucks with it, but yeah, GameCube, PS2, they had some shit. Like, just thinking about it just gives me hype because this is like, man, I kind of want to buy a GameCube again just for that.
Matter of fact, bro, you know the sad part about it? I had all three of these consoles at one point, especially especially the GameCube, bro.
Damn.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the weird thing. Everybody talk about the PlayStation and GameCube a lot, but we get no love for the original Xbox. Look, the original Xbox. I'm gonna tell you because I had it since it first came out in 2003. So I can tell you like the main games people was playing on that jump was if it wasn't Dead or Alive, Ninja Gaiden, Halo or Halo 2.
Right.
It was what's the name of that game? Oh, Bloody Roar, Extreme.
I heard of that.
Or they play the other that other fighting game. I think it's called what was it, Tao Fang or whatever. I forgot the title, but it was so many fighting games for the Xbox.
Because I know
it's not even funny.
I know they had Dead or Alive for, for a time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it, Dead or Alive 3?
Yeah.
I personally I didn't own an Xbox, but the only time I got to interact with the Xbox was like, you went to Walmart or something, or GameStop, and they had the little, the little booths or whatever. Not booths.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's the only time I got to play on Xbox, but the only thing I can really think about with Xbox was really Halo, but I know at least you've owned the console, so I know you know more stuff that was on there that was fire.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say something that's a little controversial. It's about Death Jam. A lot of people say the PlayStation 2 is the best version. No. The Xbox is the best version because of like the higher graphics compatibility, and also the controller fits the counter system a little bit more better. That's why you see when they play online, a lot of them either use Xbox 360 controllers or PlayStation 4 controllers because of how the directional pad is.
Right. And that my only thing is with that original Xbox controller, man, that shit was huge.
No. Yeah, the Duke. I used to have one of those big things. I was like, yo, I can't play this. I gotta go to the store and get me the regular, not the regular, but the newer model of the Xbox controller. I used to have one of those Dukes. Them things are ridiculous. Like, how can you fit that?
Like, it's something about
come on now.
It's something about that, the Nintendo 64 controller and the Dreamcast controller. I'm just like, why did they design them controllers like that? Like, you look back at them controllers, you just like, I don't think those were the best designs for those controllers. I mean, they were unique, sure, but like, they fit awkwardly in your hand.
See, the irony, I used to have me a Dreamcast back in the day. And every time when I used to play that, like, when you play shooters, it was okay.
Right.
But when you play Marvel vs. Capcom or something, it gets a little weird because how large and wide the freaking controller is. Like, it's something you gotta get used to. That's why a lot of people, when they play Marvel vs. Capcom, they use the arcade sticks because, bro, that controller is like, oh.
Oh man. But yeah, in the video, I had ranked them from like worst to best or best to worst. So I have PS2 as like my favorite, number 1. I got GameCube at number 2, and which was the hardest one for me was like, where do I rank Xbox and Dreamcast? And I was just like, Dreamcast and Xbox both had good games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, which one had more longevity? And I was just like, I gotta go with Xbox.
Yeah, the Xbox. Matter of fact, people to this day they still play their old Xbox, right? And they modify it to keep the things going online. Like I didn't even know that. I was like, I
Right.
should have kept my old Xbox.
Right. That surprised me, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying like that's the only thing I can say like that probably really edges out from Dreamcast is like longevity, because like I'm sure some people had Dreamcast and they probably still play it, but like that original Xbox, especially when they introduced Xbox Live and stuff back then, the longevity for that was probably way longer than what Dreamcast was. Cause like, matter of fact, after that generation, Sega was like, you know what, we good. we done with making consoles. We'll just make games. We're good.
Yeah, we just make games. We good. We've been in that job since the Master System, so it's like we just want to make games.
Yeah, we're just gonna slowly retire, from the console game, but Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, hats off to y'all. But yeah, PS2 was number 1 for me, GameCube number 2, Xbox number 3, and Dreamcast would be at the bottom for me.
See, here's the weird part about me though. See, here's the part. It's probably because I had an Xbox for so long.
Right.
It's not even funny. And then I got a PlayStation 2 like mad later. But here's the thing. To me, it's Xbox, PS2, GameCube, and then Dreamcast. Damn. Because freaking I'm so used and connected to the Xbox controller, it just feels better.
I mean, I understand because like I went from PS2 to like Xbox 360.
Right.
And that 360 controller, I think that's definitely one of the best, not just consoles, but they had one of the best controllers ever. But like, I get you. Xbox, especially with shooters, was a great console.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, and Xbox 360 is probably one of my favorite consoles. But because I never owned an Xbox, is why I have it at third. If I own one, it'll probably be higher. But PS2, all my memories is with that.
See, I managed to be lucky and got an Xbox 360 early too. So I had me the Xbox and the 360. So like I already know how both of those consoles roll.
Yeah, that's. And hopefully next time if you're willing to do one of these videos,
right,
we can do the 7th generation. PS3, 360, and the Wii.
We can kind of like cut that right now because you already know I'm going to say, right?
Hey, listen. But see, for me, it's gonna be tougher because I actually had all 3, but I don't know which one I would rank number 1. But you know what? If you want to do it right now, we can do it right now.
Yeah. Because see, here's the thing: I owned the Wii until later.
Right.
But I still understand the stuff about the Wii.
Right.
But I'll be a little biased and say I think the Xbox kind of won. Okay, here's the main reasons. The PlayStation 3 had a bad launch. Like,
right.
Really, like they had a really bad launch.
Right.
I remember that because when they was talking about it on G4, and this one G4 was still a thing.
Right.
They was talking about the PlayStation 3 and the situation about the launch and how high priced it was. Yeah. Xbox already came out with their stuff in 2006.
Yeah.
So their stuff was already selling, and it wasn't really super high as the PlayStation 3 was. So
right.
they kind of slacked off on that.
Matter of fact, I think that PS3 was like $600 at the time.
Yeah, the Xbox wasn't even that high. I think the Xbox at launch was like 4 something, 3 or 4 something. I think it was.
Right. But it just won't as much as PlayStation. Like PlayStation was the highest, console at that time. Like I think even the Wii was like 300 something. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Wii was like 3 when it first came out.
And the Xbox was like 400, maybe 500 something. But the fucking PlayStation was $600. Everybody was looking like, excuse me?
Right?
It's like, how much?
Why am I supposed to get 600? I'm supposed to rob a bank?
And right.
Sell a brick? What you want me to do?
And like,
be looking at the price like,
and like, right. That's what kind of set them back. It's like not only was I gotta stop cussing, but not only was the console so high, but like that launch lineup wasn't really interesting. Like the only thing out of that launch lineup that I liked was Resistance Fall of Man. That was the only game, and probably one other game that I can't really think of, but like that was the only game from launch that I was messing with. But Xbox 360, they started off good. I forgot what they had at launch, but
I remember what they had at launch. Okay, early launch, like around 2006.
Right.
They didn't have. Their launch was good enough, but there were some games that was questionable. Like for example, Perfect Dark, Zero. Some people liked it. Some people thought it was trash. It was kind of like a side thing.
Right.
Another game that came out was I think. What's the name of the game? I think it was like a remake of one of the Fable games. That came out, and then you had games like Saints Row, the first Saints Row that came out. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. There's one more. It's a shooter. I think Halo 3 a little bit was coming out too, but it took them like two more years after the launch.
Okay, so I'm gonna look it up, see if I can find it right real quick.
Yeah, do that. I know Saints Row and Perfect Dark is one of the earlier launches of the game.
So, based off Google, this is off Google.
All right, hit me up.
It might be wrong, but hey, so they got like Call of Duty 2.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect Dark 0.
All right.
Cameo, however you say it. Project Gotham Racing 3.
Okay.
Condemned Criminal Origins.
Wait, Condemned was that early? Dang.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, according to Google, that's all I'm gonna say. Amp 3. Quake 4.
Right.
Madden NFL 06, Ridge Racer 6, NBA 2K6, NHL 2K6, Tiger Woods, PGA Tour 06. Man, I mean, you already know every time they're gonna come out with a lot of sports games, so that's out the gate. But Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh yeah, that is a launch title. I remember that. That is a launch title.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, dang. Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's a game called Gun. Like it's literally just called Gun.
Oh, I had that game. I had the PC version and the PS2 version, but I didn't know they had a 360 version actually.
I mean, like I said again, according to Google.
This sounds right. This actually sounds right.
Right. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, NBA Live 06. Now these next ones, these next ones can be launch titles because these I think came out later. Yeah, these came out later. Okay, but yeah, you get what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah.
And I think Dead or Alive 4 and hold on, let me see if I can find a more accurate list. These motherfuckers. Ugh. But yeah, that first year of 360 was the first 2 years. Man, that joint was hype.
Wait. I think they're missing the game too. Wait. Actually, no. Hold on. I want you to check something. There's this game called Dark Sector, and I remember people used to play this around the early days of the 360, like around 2006, 2007. So I wonder, like, is that game a launch title, or was that game also for the PlayStation 3?
It said
it's like a game. It's like a shooting game where you can throw a blade at people. Like you can just like throw this blade thing at people.
Yeah, it said it came out for 360, but also PC and PS3. But it didn't come out till like 08.
Oh, dang! I thought that was like.
So it didn't come out exactly when the system launched, but it came out like a few years after.
Oh, so it came out around the same year that Resident Evil 5 came out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think I had a Xbox in 08. Yeah, I had a 360 in 08.
Yeah. But when I first got 360, I think it was like Christmas 06, I think. The first games that I had were like Gears of War and Halo 3. Them two alone.
Oh yeah, that's good for some starters.
Hold on, let me make sure because my memory's kind of fucked up. I mean, my memory's kind of messed up because it's been so long. But like, it was either Halo 3 or Dead Rising. Either way, those were some great games. Like Gears of War and Dead Rising were some great ass games at that point. Probably one of the best games on that system. But when did Halo 3 come out? Why y'all claiming the videos? Yeah. Okay. So Halo 3 didn't come out till the year after I got a 360. I mean, yeah, got my 360. So it was like 07 when Halo 3 came out.
I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do.
So. Cognite, what up? Yeah.